There's no other tournament like this.
Pride is on the line, toughness on the line, heart, determination, anything you think of is on the line.
Each team is coming for you. They call, they talk trash.
I don't like to say pressure. You just gotta win.
Oh my goodness! That's what you call a Sports Center top 10, ladies and gentlemen.
Long look.
Money never gets old.
$2 million on the line, pride is on the line, but I really just want to win. I love winning.
It's a TBT three-peat for Overseas Elite.
All the pressure's on us. Every team that we play wants to be the team that beat Overseas Elite.
I'm not scared of anyone. Like, I don't care who it is. I can compete with anybody.
Everybody that has a crown always getting knocked off.
One, two, three, going for 4.
And that is the plan for Overseas Elite. Complete domination of TBT. And if they win tonight, it will mark 4 consecutive championships. That's our matchup, the champion Overseas Elite against the challenger, Eberlein Drive. Both teams advanced to the championship game with impressive wins last night. Overseas Elite won by 25. And late, it was Team Fredette challenging, but Eberlein Drive had the victory to advance. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the championship game. Bob Rathman, Fran Fraschilla with you. And this Overseas Elite bunch has proven one thing over the last 4 years. They can flat play this game in TBT. Their success has been phenomenal.
Well, you're right, Bob. If you're just watching for the first time, this is a group of guys with a little bit of NBA experience, but a whole bunch of overseas international basketball experience. You see the winnings, 24-0. They play at a high level, not just because they're talented, but because they have great chemistry together. 7 of these guys are going for their 4th consecutive TBT title.
And a former Arizona Wildcat leads them. He saves his best for the big moments, and that's Kyle Fogg.
Why not? If it's TBT semis and finals, it's all about Kyle Fogg. He's trying to win his 3rd consecutive TBT MVP award. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic. Remember this, he came into this tournament, first 4 games only averaging 9 points a game. Last night he exploded for 38. He's done it before, and he loves this moment.
If there is an upset, the parade route will be along a cul-de-sac north of Detroit called Eberlein Drive. But don't be misled by the worst of first nature of this team. These guys can play.
They've gotten better every year, and this roster is stacked. A lot of NBA experience, G League experience, and overseas experience. And the best player on the team is a guy named Jerome Randall. All he's done is he's the all-time leading scorer at Cal. And then how about Donald Sloan, former Texas A&M Aggie? Lots of NBA experience, playing great in this tournament. And don't be surprised if he parlays this performance into another spot on an NBA roster very soon.
So the stage has been set, 72 teams, and it's down to 2 for a winner-take-all $2 million prize. Let's meet the lineups. Here's public address announcer Chris Del Sordo.
Let's meet the starting lineups for the West Regional Champs, Eberlein Drive. A 5-foot, 10-inch point guard from Cal Berkeley, number 2, Jerome Randall. A 6-foot, 3-inch shooting guard from Texas A&M, number 15, Donald Sloan. A 6-foot, 7-inch wing from North Dakota State, number 24, Taylor Braun. A 6-foot, 9-inch forward from Western Kentucky, number 23, Jeremy Evans. And a 6'11" center from St. Louis U, number 33, Willie Reed. coached by David Nurse.
Tell me he shouldn't stand up pointing at him.
And now the starting lineup for the 3-time defending champion, Overseas Elite. A 6'2" point guard from Goshen College, number 3, Eric McCollum. A 6'3" shooting guard from Arizona, number 21, Kyle Fogg. A 6'6" small forward from St. John's, number 17, DJ Kennedy. A 6'5" wing from Iowa State, number 50, DeAndre Kane. And a 6'9" power forward from St. John's, number 24, Justin Burrell. And Overseas Elite is coached by Mark Hughes.
Let him know and he'll let us know. If the clock doesn't start.
Those are the starting lineups. For more on this amazing Eberlein Drive story, we welcome in Jen Hale with Jake Hirschman.
Bob, it truly has been a Cinderella story for Eberlein Drive. At one point, they were called the lost cause of the TBT. Jacob Hirschman, the original general manager, you were there 5 years ago. Fast forward now, you have the chance to go from worst to first. What has that emotional ride been like?
I mean, it's been surreal. That's the word I've been using over and over again. You know, worst to first was our rallying cry for so many years, and to think that it's finally coming true is crazy.
You got to go through the 3-time defending champs, Overseas Elite, to do it. By the way, they have the top 3 scorers in TBT history. How do you get your squad going tonight?
I mean, they've got all the motivation they need. Everyone's counting us out. They've counted us out every single game since we played Broad Street in round 1. So these guys, they have a huge chip on their shoulder. You know, a guy like Jerome Randall never had a chance in the NBA. They're ready to prove it here on American soil, and they're going to do it.
We can't wait to watch. Best of luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bob, nothing like a chip on your shoulder to get you going.
That's for sure. Let's check out the rules of TBT. It's a combination of NCAA, NBA, and FIBA. You do get an extra foul like the NBA, and you're going on 6 instead of 5. On the 5th foul of each quarter, all non-shooting fouls will be awarded 2 free throws. FIBA rules on the goaltend. Once that baby hits the rim, you are free to go get it. Haven't seen a great deal of that, but it is in effect. The timeout situation, 3 30s and 160 for each club, and then 2 of the 3 30-second timeouts carry over to the second half, and that brings us, Fran, to the Elam ending.
Exactly, and it's been a success in this tournament. The first dead ball under 4 minutes. We stop the clock, it shuts off. The team that's in the lead, you add 7 to their score, that becomes the target score. Think of the way we've all grown up playing basketball on the playground or in the Y. First team to 11 or 21, in this case, the target score.
Clarence Armstrong, Mike Eads, and Jeff Anderson are the officials for the championship. And the top seed, undefeated, Overseas Elite, 24-0 in TBT with the game's first possession.
There's going to be
McCollum.
a great matchup at every position tonight.
Kyle Fogg, unbelievable last night. His first shot of this one rims out. And a rebound to Eberlein Drive.
The man with the ball is the catalyst. Jerome Randall, Cal's all-time leading scorer. 2017 Australia League Player of the Year.
Willie Reed is fouled. And this one on DJ Kennedy of Overseas Elite. As the big man started to make his move, now Willie Reed will try it at the foul line. Played collegiately at St. Louis, but a lot of NBA experience last season, 39 games with the Clippers, and then 3 in, ironically, Detroit with the Pistons.
This Eberlein Drive team, unlike many of the teams we've seen in the Super 16, extremely long length at in the front line, and they challenge everything at the rim defensively.
Besides the NBA players that they have on the roster, is it the size and length, Fran, that leads you to believe they've got a shot to win this thing tonight?
Absolutely. Yep, they can defend at all 5 positions. We saw the great job they did in slowing down Jimmer Fredette last night. And look right now, the ball hawking by Jerome Randall.
McCollum has to back out. Now comes down the wing to fire and miss. And Skine to get the rebound. Jeremy Evans. Randall to the hoop. Eberlein Drive basketball. Randall has been terrific. As you take a look at the head coach, David Nurse. 31 years old and one of the leading shot practitioners in the game of basketball. International acclaim for David Nurse. And coaching Eberlein Drive, what he hopes to be a $2 million payday for his team. Evans with the miss. Overseas Elite on the push. All the way to the basket for an opening lay-in for DeAndre Kane.
Now, here's the difference in styles. Eberlein Drive has gone big, and if you look at Overseas Elite, very mobile at all 5 spots. DeAndre Kane went coast to coast off that rebound.
Donald Sloan, who has steadied the ship. He is playing in his 4th TBT game. He missed the Super 16, getting a tryout for the New Orleans Pelicans, and another lay-in for DJ Kennedy.
Same thing. Rebound, handles it himself, and finishes at the other end.
Donald Sloan has to recover that at midcourt. Good defensive pressure from Overseas Elite. They jumped out big early in last night's game as they routed the Golden Eagles from Marquette 85-60. Jeremy Evans, soft touch. He had 10 last night.
You want to know how athletic Jeremy Evans is? He's a one-time NBA dunk champion.
Eric McCollum rifles the basketball into the hands of Kyle Fogg. Here's turnover. Kennedy. And an over-the-back foul on Willie Reed.
Well, this team is very mobile, Overseas Elite. There's the rebound by Kennedy, and he does this a lot. Takes it himself, finishes, and then Jeremy Evans, former Western Kentucky Hilltopper who has had quality time in the NBA, probably mostly with the Utah Jazz, I would think. Right,
Yes,
Bob?
sir. 5 years with the Jazz men. Last year played in the G League with the Erie Bayhawks. Burrell. Evans is high to claim it. Donald Sloan, 30 years old, and NBA playoff experience under his belt when he was with the Indiana Pacers. Turns the corner, but left it short. Kennedy the rebound. Fogg for 3. Failing it early. After 38 last night in the national semifinals.
And once again, DJ Kennedy, rebound to the pass.
Willie Reed uses the high glass to score in a 7-5 game.
This is high-level basketball, Bob. I talked to Travis Diener last night, who plays in Italy, and he said if these teams had a month of practice, they would be the best teams in Europe, or at least among the best teams in Europe. These guys are all professionals.
Eric McCollum on the miss. He's the older brother of C.J. McCollum, who finally made it into town after all kinds of travel problems to get here from New York. But he's in attendance to see brother Eric perform. Randall from the wing. Picked up by Taylor Braun. Inside to Reed. He's fouled, going for the dunk. Leveled by Justin Burrell.
This is what you love about TBT. You see Justin Burrell, hard foul. He goes right over, picks him up. And so while there's a lot at stake, there's a heavy dose of respect on both ends of the floor. Nothing's coming easy tonight, but with the officiating being the way it is and the professional attitude, we'll take it right to the line because of what's at stake.
You see that dollar figure underneath the name of Willie Reed. They divvy up the $2 million prize money, and that will be Willie Reed's take tonight if Eberlein Drive wins this championship. Fans win money, players win money, coaches win money.
What about us?
I did not see announcers getting money. Willie Reed, 3 NBA seasons, 152 NBA games with 4 teams. Soft touch on that second free throw to make it 7-6.
Yeah, it's hard to pressure overseas elite because they've got 5 guys, at least 4 that can handle the ball to get into the offense. And you see Kennedy is able to do that pretty easily.
Justin Burrell, St. John's product, banging with Reed. Hooks. Follow good. Great extension that time by Paris Horn.
Paris Horn is the glue to this team. It doesn't matter if he even scores a point, although he picked up 2 there. Former St. John's star. Big play.
And a foul on the drive by Jerome Randall. Boy, this is great activity on the glass.
Yep, absolutely. Watch Paris Horn sneak in from the weak side with the finish. There's 3 St. John's players on this team and 7 players who have been together for the 3 championships. So the chemistry and the continuity is excellent.
I think fans may find that interesting, that these guys scatter the globe to play and come together for basically 3 weeks, put this team together. There is some carryover effect from year to year, but how they can do this, they're so professional and they know how to play.
All these guys out here, what a move. What a move!
And Jeremy Evans with a slam follow.
He went to the penthouse and then he held the button so he didn't have to come down right away.
McCollum, that's a 3. And fans, we are playing with the collegiate 3-point line. 12-8 overseas elite. Sloan, a little bit of daylight, now finds James Michael McAdoo, 2-time champion with the Golden State Warriors. Underway with the championship game.
Absolutely, overseas elite, quick start, but this will be a battle. This is high-level hoops. It's reality TV. So much at stake, and we've just gotten started.
The basketball tournament is brought to you by Puma Basketball and by Sling TV, the live TV you love, only better and only $25 a month. Start watching 7 days free at sling.com. And by Mile 22, starring Mark Wahlberg in theaters August 17th.
Love where we're at right now. We came out with not a whole lot of energy. And right now, all they're doing is scoring in transition and on offensive rebounds, just like we said. So we know who they are. We know how to stop them. We got to dig deep. Don't conserve any energy at all. Trans D, everybody rebound. Okay, offensively, on this possession, we're going to go to the same thing. Jerome, you're going to hit J.E., J-Mac. Quick screen for J, attack the rim. They have 4 fouls. We got to get to the rim, get into their body. Right here, going to the hoop. You got to kick out the D-zone if you know. In our flow,
our Puma in the huddle, featuring David Nurse and Fran Fraschilla. Here's a look at what Overseas Elite has been doing to them in transition.
You're exactly right, and that's why the emphasis in that timeout. But this is what you love about Overseas Elite. They can rip and run because they're versatile. DeAndre Kane with the rebound, coast to coast. Doesn't have to outlet it. Another example right here, DJ Kennedy. He's got the rebound, coast to coast. Something David Nurse is very concerned about. Rip and run, going coast to coast, and who do you find? A guy that makes them at a high level behind the line.
Eberlein Drive. Coming off its toughest game to date last night against Team Fredette. Jimmer got hot late, but not enough. Eberlein Drive won by 10, 80-70. James Michael McAdoo coming off the bench and laying it in with the left hand. And now a foul on Jerome Randall.
Good strong move by James Michael McAdoo. Played 1 game last weekend. big last night. Good isolation at the top of the key. Takes Jandre Jefferson to the rim, uses the left hand. James Michael will be heading to Italy soon and playing for Larry Brown in the Italian Division I.
The feed intended for Jefferson goes out of bounds. Former South Carolina Gamecock. 12-10 overseas elite. You're talking about James Michael McAdoo. One of the big reasons he's here is because he had a relationship with David Nurse. David Nurse was working with James Michael McAdoo on his game, and that paved the way for a look from Golden State, and the rest is history. Sloan going to work. Step back. Jeremy Evans, so active as we check in with Jen.
Well, Bob, interesting note. In previous games, Eberlein Drive has scored on the backs and power of their guard, like that move right there from Jerome Randall. That's his first basket and the first basket for Eberlein Drive's front court. Up until now, they've been depending on their bigs to score, and that's by design. I talked to Donald Sloan, and he said they wanted to mix up the scouting report, hopefully throw overseas elite a curveball. So that's why they're relying on their bigs and not so much their front court.
Well, what you like about that, Jen, is they have that kind of versatility. We know that Randall and Sloan can put points on the board, but they have some weapons inside as well, and they don't want to be just reliant on the outside game. Good, strong move by DeAndre Kane, the former Iowa State Cyclone star.
And problems lining up here. There will be 2 free throws for DeAndre Kane.
We got 2. 2 shots.
We talked about the core of this overseas elite team has been together through this magnificent tournament run, and Kane's been a big part of that, Fran. Last year, 12 points, 7 boards in the championship game.
Oh, yeah, and the connection to this overseas elite team, because he was not there at the beginning, is he is a high school teammate of DJ Kennedy. They had another pretty good teammate who played last year, a guy named Jawan Blair, former Pitt star.
Kane splits the 2. Kane has participated in 2 of the championship seasons. Sloan, nope. Running again, overseas elite. Randall trying to hustle back, the shovel to Kennedy.
Oh, man, pass horn, quietly effective.
From the wing, Eldridge. And again, overseas elite. Cranking up the transition game. Kennedy against Lou Amundsen.
He's a tough matchup, Bob. He's a power forward. He's basically able to make plays for this whole team.
His teammates have cleared out for him here. And Amundsen there to block the shot. And then stepped out of bounds. The ball belongs to Eberlein Drive.
Lou Amundsen, 10-year veteran in the NBA. Couple years overseas, most recently in Japan, and we may be watching the final basketball that this guy plays. I talked to him this morning, and he might be ready to put up the sneakers after a really good grinder-type career.
He's 35 years old, a terrific run. Randall on the bounce. James Michael steps in. Controlled by Jefferson. Overseas elite by 3, 1:05 to go, first quarter. TBT championship. Eberlein Drive will get it.
Saw that strong move, but not finished right there by Jeremy Pargo, former Gonzaga star, who was playing in his first TBT for overseas elite. In the midst of a very successful European career, he's currently in Tel Aviv playing for Maccabi.
Baseline cut. Sloan gets it off in traffic. Lou Amundsen controlling for an instant. Then the ball out of bounds to Eberlein Drive. 41 seconds to go in the quarter. Todd O'Brien did not play last night in the semifinals. Young man who started at Bucknell, went to St. Joe's, and he's getting his first taste of championship action. Donald Sloan was great last night, but starts 0 for 5 tonight. Randall with 2 on the shot clock and air ball.
Chance to go for 1 right here. They're going to slow it down. Get the final possession of the first quarter.
DeAndre Kane. Single digits on the clock. Kane looking for a screen. Never developed. Now picks up his dribble. All alone is Jefferson underneath. And that is going to be the quarter. I'm not sure they drew it up that way, but all's well that ends well.
No, they got caught. What happened was Eberlein Drive started to cheat up, thinking they could get something easy, maybe a steal, and watch the good look by DeAndre Kane to Jefferson. Off to a fast start.
Into horns up 71 series for Pargo, all right? Right now, we're in floppy single double action for Kyle. You got it? Kyle's gonna come out. I want the double step up. Kyle, sprint right into it. As soon as the pin down, you gotta sprint opposite. Set the one for Kane to get clear, and then sprint right over. We got double. All right? Read and react. You got it?
Great defense. We got 12.5
boards. All we have to do is if a shot goes up, we have to say, I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. Because they're leaking everybody. Everybody got that? Everybody got this. Transition D. Offensively, right now, here's how we're playing. Back on our heels. Who are these guys? Who is overseas elite? Who are they? They're not as talented as us. Hey, if somebody is on you, rip through and get to the rack. Hard cuts. We are going back to weave.
Passion, Bob. It's passion. You heard it right there from David Nurse.
And the transition game is favoring Overseas Elite to the tune of 6-0. Fast break points. And Eberlein Drive is facing a very tough defensive unit.
Oh, yeah. This Overseas Elite team, they are cohesive defensively.
James Michael McAdoo just overpowers his defender and has his second field goal.
James Michael, keep playing, man. This is big boy ball. They're not calling a lot of fouls tonight.
14 points now for Eberlein Drive. Fogg. The men in blue representing Fraser, Michigan. Eberlein Drive, 17-14. Randall ball fake, runner. Captures the dribble. And a terrific defender on him, Osiris Eldridge, who played at Illinois State. Foul on the baseline. Tomorrow, we'll once again have the Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony for you on ESPN. The class of 2018 goes in, and that includes Randy Moss. Coverage begins at 7 tomorrow Eastern Time, and also available on the ESPN app. Randy Moss was an outstanding basketball player as a high school product coming up in West Virginia, and his teammate was none other than Jason Williams.
White chocolate.
The runner is good by Jerome Randall.
And Jason Williams has some TBT experience playing for Pedro's Posse a couple years ago.
Fargo. Fogg outside. And James Michael McAdoo controls it for Eberlein Drive, and they can take their first lead since it was 1-0.
Yeah, this is hand-to-hand combat right now. Both teams locked in defensively, especially in the half court.
And Fran, you know, as you've covered this tournament, when you get to this championship game, the defense steps up, and we usually have a very close affair.
Yeah, there's no question. And if Eberlein Drive takes away the transition game, this will be a half-court slugfest.
Jeremy Pargo fouled on the drive.
And speaking of slugfest, 3 excellent officials. Final 4-level guys like Mike Eads, Jeff Clark, and Clarence Armstrong. You need strong officials in this kind of environment to keep things from getting out of hand.
And speaking how the basketball goes full circle, you see Jeremy Pargo going to the free throw line here for Overseas Elite. In 2009 NCAA tournament, Rose Garden, Portland, Oregon. Gonzaga's playing Western Kentucky. Jeremy Evans is on that squad. He's playing for Eberlein Drive tonight. The referee in that game was Mike Eads. And they're all 3 on the floor tonight.
The basketball world, I always say, And I got this from my man Gordy Chiesa of the Utah Jazz. Basketball world is 2 blocks long. You know everybody on your block. You know a few people on the next block, but there's somebody on your block that knows somebody on the next block. It is a small circle of coaches, referees, and players.
18-16, Overseas Elite. Underway with the second quarter of the 5th TBT championship game. Overseas Elite, Frank continues to harass defensively. Watford loves that left side, but couldn't get this one to go. Eberlein Drive is now 0 for 5 on threes. That's Mark Hughes, the Overseas Elite head coach, his first season taking over.
Yeah, because he's getting pushed in the back. I feel like the 3 seconds. 3 seconds is all I'm looking for right here. Yeah, because I feel like they're doing it. Just like the foul was out there, right?
Mark Hughes talking to Clarence Armstrong.
Not going to be a lot of 3-second calls in this game tonight. Nice pass.
Kennedy heads to the line. James Michael McAdoo commits his second.
Kyle Fogg, the passer right there. DJ Kennedy both played in China a year ago. Kyle heading back to China, where he makes a very handsome living. The Guangzhou Long Lions averaged about 35 points a game last season.
Kennedy with his 5th point. Jeremy Evans and Willie Reed come back for Eberlein Drive. DJ Kennedy in 2013 on a G League championship team. Rio Grande Championship Ball Club that defeated Santa Cruz in the final. Played with Kyle Fogg on that team.
Yep. And, you know, the fans that are watching at home, you say, well, why aren't these guys in the NBA? DJ Kennedy played a little bit for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're at the point of their careers where they make so much money around the world, they can't afford to be the last man on the roster and get a veteran minimum deal.
Donald Sloan lost the dribble.
This is a ball-hawking defense, and again, they've got the mobility and the versatility. Each of these guys can defend at all 5 spots.
Hargo's spinorama. Tapped out to Kennedy. Driving, dishing, a charge on Kennedy.
Take a look. They had a drop off for a dunk. Kennedy argued here. I think he's set. Was that Willie Reed? Or yep. Willie Reed did a good job last night of using his body as a sacrificial lamb, if you will. Take a charge. Sacrificial Billiken.
An endangered species. Sloan finally finds the range. Donald Sloan had 16 last night. His first basket in 6 attempts. Morrell fouled on the drive. That lane area, Fran, is no place for the timid tonight.
No way. Yep, and these officials, they'll call fouls and they'll keep this game under control. But they will let these guys play like they play around the world. It's more physical at FIBA.
I understand.
Here's a guy that knows how to play physically, Justin Burrell, now playing in Japan.
Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell. Yankees-Red Sox, final game of their 4-game series in Fenway. Coverage at 7 Eastern Sunday night on ESPN. With baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. And both are streaming live on the ESPN app. Tanaka and Price, your pitching matchup Sunday night.
That's pretty good. Price has not had much success versus the New York Yankees.
21-18, now 22-18. Overseas Elite by 4.
A couple of former Pac-10 stars, Kyle Fogg, Jerome Randall, Arizona, and Cal.
Braun, nice move. Taylor Braun. He's a man from Oregon.
Yeah.
Played collegiately at North Dakota State.
He's a Bison. Had a really good year for the Salt Lake Stars last year.
Jeremy Evans showing that form that won him that slam dunk championship. He can still get up in the air at age 30. Sloan on the reverse, that big body to his advantage. Tied at 22, the second tie of the game. Kennedy directs traffic. He wants Burrell to repost against Evans. Reed clears.
It's a good, strong move, but good D as well by Evans.
Randall slicing through. Has it knocked out of his hand. He thought it was fouled, but no whistle.
Come on, Jerome. Play.
You get one all day long. I'll let you lose one all day long. Good job, baby.
$2 million to the winner. The loser, 0. Randall. DJ Kennedy. Loaded in the middle. On slipping. Recovering. Argo will back it out. Uses the screen off 1 foot. Can't roll it in, but Burrell is fouled, getting the rebound. And we come to a timeout with 3:51 to go in the second.
Who's going to win the $2 million? DJ Kennedy says it best. Money never gets old.
Eberlein Drive, can they go from worst to first? 5 years ago, they had hardly anybody show up to TBT, so the general manager had to suit up and play, got carried off on a stretcher, and they have slowly through the years gotten better, gotten their feet underneath them, built a team with experience and skill, and now here they are, challenging for the $2 million tonight as the West Region champs. If you're wondering how they got started, well, they're named after a little cul-de-sac in Fraser, Michigan. The team was created by general manager Jake Hirschman, who you met earlier, and Joey and Craig and Oster, two brothers who are also here tonight. They drove all night to be here. In 2014, again, all but 2 players recruited were no-shows. Hirschman and Oster forced to dress out, and they lost by 41. Sports Illustrated actually ran an article calling them the lost cause of TBT. So aren't they thrilled to be here in this game, tied up with Overseas Elite at 22? And Bob, they seem to be getting more efficient as this game goes on, getting some confidence and getting their feet underneath them.
And they're winning this second quarter impressively. They have not allowed a field goal to Overseas Elite in the period, and they've outscored Overseas Elite 10-5 to tie the game.
You know, the player that was taken off in a stretcher was Jacob Hirschman, right?
Yes.
Now one of the boosters and one of the original members of Eberlein. There's Jacob. He was dunked on by Luke Bonner, and that's how he got hurt. I didn't say Matt Bonner. I said Matt's brother, Luke. Of course, Luke played at UMass, and but what a great story.
When your general manager gets carried off on a stretcher, that is not a good thing.
Did you see that happening to Sam Presti or Kevin Pritchard?
Danny Ainge, maybe.
Danny Ainge would love TBT. He would love to put a team in TBT. The way he orchestrates his roster.
When the Celtics and Hawks had their famous dust-up in the playoffs back in the 80s, great headline of the Boston Globe after the big break is Tree Rollins bit Danny Ainge on the finger in a fight. And the headline next day is Tree Bites Man. 25-24 Eberlein Drive.
Boy, Donald Sloan has made a huge difference this week. He missed last week. He's working out for a couple of NBA teams. He is a bulldog.
Kennedy through the wicket, out of bounds.
Kennedy is making a concerted attempt to go inside to Justin Burrell. I don't know if he thinks he can get those big guys in foul trouble, Evans and Reed. But we know DJ Kennedy can put points on the board as well.
Second lead for Eberlein Drive. Randall.
He'd love to have that one back, point blank. Doesn't miss that meant much.
Jeremy Pargo with the floater.
Jeremy Pargo.
There's the first hoop tonight for Pargo. 6 last night. Done a solid job off the bench for Overseas Elite in the tournament. Donald Sloan. Contact, but no whistle that time.
You see, Pargo's the one pure point guard they have on this team.
Lob to Brown. And the major league flush.
Perfect example right there. Read the pick and roll. The big stayed out, and Burrell slipped behind.
28-25. Overseas Elite bidding for their 4th consecutive championship. Burrell on a backdoor cut, but left it short on the reverse. Pargo. Kyle Fogg. Reed there to challenge. Kennedy there to clean it up. And a timeout has been taken by Eberlein Drive. Overseas Elite. Their track record threatened, and then they spurt. Lead by 5.
Good addition to this Overseas Elite team. He is a pure point guard. See that pick and roll, drops the dime. Watch where Willie Reed stays too high, and no one helps from the backside. Excellent recognition. And then, of course, this is such a great, versatile team. You see the drive. Nobody cuts off DJ Kennedy on the backside, and David Nurse took a timeout to try to stem that run a little bit.
A 6-0 run. Just over a minute of playing time. Overseas Elite has just a bit of breathing room. Sloan, nice move to get open. Second 3 for Donald Sloan. All 10 of his points in this second quarter.
Great crossover. He had Jeremy Pargo leading one way.
Pargo. That's a 3. So Jeremy Pargo answers with a 3 of his own. 33-28. Randall finds McAdoo underneath. Minute before halftime. Sloan, nice quick pass. McAdoo, the lane from Evans.
Oh, great pass by Jeremy Evans, and a good start to that play by Donald Sloan. Excellent ball movement.
James Michael with 6. Overseas Elite by 3. And Overseas Elite is going to take a timeout here with 36.2. Tomorrow, we'll have the Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony for you on ESPN. The class of 2018 contains luminaries like Randy Moss and, of course, the great Ray Lewis, remembered fondly here in Baltimore, of course, a 13-time Pro Bowler, former Super Bowl MVP. He goes in tomorrow night. Brian Urlacher. Jerry Kramer, he had to wait the longest of anybody since 1968. The great Packer.
Yep.
Remember that ice ball? Lead block to get the touchdown?
No doubt about it. The guy that could have played defensive back in that ice bowl, Donald Sloan.
Yes.
Because he's built like it. Take a look. Young man who played at Seagoville High School in Dallas. Place that also produced LaMarcus Aldridge. Donald has been in big NBA games as a member of the Indiana Pacers. Played overseas. I got a chance to see him in China. Play against Jimmer Fredette a couple years ago. And there are NBA scouts here tonight, Bob. We've said hello to a couple of them before the game. And this is a guy that is trying to work his way back. He is an excellent teammate. Great guy to have on your roster. Toughness, ability to score, and also be a point guard.
McAdoo blocked the wrong shot. McCollum was there to lay it in. 5 points for Eric. Shot clock is off. Eberlein Drive down by 5. As Randall yo-yos at mid-floor. Fogg staring him down. 7 seconds, 6. And Fogg with the foul.
Overseas Elite foul on number 20.
That is a foul to give for Overseas Elite. They made changes as Paris Ward comes back in, Jefferson comes back in.
And the reason they've done this is because they don't want one guy to pick up an accumulation of fouls. They still have a couple more to give here.
NCAA rules, not like the NBA with the second foul in the last 2 minutes. Evans got hit and still put it in, and a three-point play opportunity.
Poor execution by Overseas Elite. They had a couple of opportunities to give a foul. DJ Kennedy's not happy on the bench. Take a look. They reach right there, but that play started in the other corner. They had 2 fouls to give. They didn't get it done, and now they may give up 3 points.
With just 0.6 of a second on the clock. Just offline for DeAndre Kane. It's a 2-point game at the half, and what we expected from 2 quality TBT teams.
We've seen them score lots of points in the TBT, but night to night, both of these teams are locked in defensively.
Let's check in with Jen with DJ Kennedy.
Thanks, Bob. DJ, this team is in control in the lead, but not by much, and you're frustrated. What do you want to see differently?
I'm not frustrated. I think it's just a few mental mistakes that I know my team, we shouldn't be making. That's how good we are. So I'm hard on my team because I know a few mental breakdowns that I think on a team like this, you can't have tonight. I mean, this is a good team. It's a lot of good pros. And the Middleton things can cost you. So I just want us to really focus and lock in.
Eberlein Drive turned it on in that second quarter, especially Donald Sloan with 10 points. How do you slow him down next half?
I think a lot of open shots for him. Let him get going. We got to take away those. But I think we did a good job defense. Like I said, a few mental breakdowns that if we do a good job second half, I feel good about our chances.
Thanks, DJ. Best of luck.
You're welcome.
Bob.
Going for a 4th consecutive TBT championship final from Baltimore. Overseas Elite clinging to a 2-point lead over Eberlein Drive. Back after this. The basketball tournament is brought to you by Puma Basketball and by Dollar Shave Club. However you get ready, welcome to the club. Dollar Shave Club has everything you need to look, feel, and smell your best at dollarshaveclub.com. And we thank the City of Baltimore for being great hosts to the TBT Championship. 35-33 here at the half. The McCullum brothers talk things over. A little extra strategy session from the family. Bob Rathman, Grant Fraschilla back with you here in Baltimore. Overseas Elite bidding for a 4th consecutive, a $2 million winner-take-all game at stake. And they came out running the basketball. The transition game served them well with Kyle Fogg and company.
They did, and they got it going early. No question about it. Take a look. Quick trigger right here by Kyle Fogg, who dropped 38 last night. Jeremy Evans, former Utah Jazz, rebounding big man. Good job there. DJ Kennedy, this is when they were off and running early, but then Eberlein Drive came back. Jerome Randall with a pretty drive to the basket. And how about the dime drop like Jeremy Pargo to Justin Burrell? What we have so far is hand-to-hand combat for $2 million.
And you can tell, Fran, with that money at stake, there is a tension to this game.
Reality TV.
Let's check with Jen.
Thanks, Bob. Coach David Nurse, got your feet under you in that second quarter. What do you need to do this second half to get in control of this game?
We just need to have more energy, more passion. We got to come out from the start, and we just got to play even more together. We're getting it rolling a little bit, so we got to get these first 5 minutes really important.
What enabled Donald Sloan to put up 10 in that second period?
Just looking for him, getting good looks, and just pushing in transition, knowing our game, and playing together as one.
Thanks, Coach. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Bob.
David Nurse holds 2 world records. Most threes with 1 ball in 1 minute. And in 5 minutes, he made 23s in 1 minute to set the record and 81 in 5 minutes. And he wasn't even the best shooter in his hometown of Pella, Iowa. That distinction belongs to Kyle Korver.
I like it. I like it. And we wish his Uncle Nick all the best. He'll take over for Dwayne Casey this year in Toronto.
35-33 Overseas Elite with the basketball and the lead.
Taylor Braun, who did such a good job on Jimmer Fredette last night, has Kyle Fogg.
Up and in from the baseline for Eric McCollum.
Now we saw his younger brother CJ at halftime. This guy played at Goshen College in northern Indiana as the all-time leading scorer. And he's now having a terrific pro career around the world. Once scored 82 points in a Chinese Basketball Association game. And here you see CJ, who's having a great start to his NBA career up in Portland. And there's Mom, Canton, Ohio. McCullum's, what a great story, what a great family.
8 points for Eric. Overseas Elite up by 5. That matches the biggest lead. Braun, Spade. McCollum in transition. Overseas Elite with numbers. Kennedy to the rack. And Evans is there. Sloan to Evans. Tried to feed inside off the hands of Willie Reed. Other way we go with Kennedy.
You're not stopping DJ Kennedy right there. Too strong, too powerful, and throwing a little agility as well.
Kyle Fogg whistled for the regen.
Remember that start to the game, the transition by Overseas Elite. They're getting it going early to start this third quarter as well, and that's something Coach David Nurse is going to be very concerned about.
Randall. And getting pulled back was Braun by DeAndre Kane. There was a hook, but no release. 2 quick team fouls on Overseas Elite. Entry to Donald Sloan. Quick recovery by Kennedy. 2-man game with Reed. Barrels in on Burrell. Great tough defense. Randall. Got it! And a foul.
Nowhere to go for Jeremy Evans, but he did find Jerome Randall. You mentioned you're not going to barrel over Justin Burrell, but a good find. And now, how about this? Foul by McCollum.
The shooter, bro.
I think, Fran, they may have switched it to Kyle Fogg, and if so, it's his 4th.
Ooh.
And Jerome Randall finishes off the play with the free throw, 40-36. McCollum rises to fire. Burrell, strong move. On they stick back.
How about his toughness? He's 6'10", about 245. Grown man move right there from a guy that was a really solid player at St. John's for Norm Roberts and Steve Lavin.
Sloan to the wing. Randall starting to cook. An old-fashioned three-point play, then the bomb from the wing. 42-39. McCollum. Burrell up fakes, gets out of the lane. 6:50 to go, third quarter. Overseas Elite by 3. Batted into the hands of Kyle Fogg.
Told you, Bob, hand-to-hand combat this next 2 quarters.
We're on the rebound. Overseas Elite keeps pushing. Reed spins in. Tough shot. Kennedy's got a man ahead. It's McCollum. And a technical foul has been charged to Willie Reed, I believe, of Eberlein Drive.
We're going to have a shooter. And we're going down. He just got 33 blue.
Technical foul assessed to Eberlein Drive, number 33, Willie Reed. That is his 3rd foul of the game.
He was upset. He didn't get a foul call at the other end.
Well, he spun. I thought he was out of control. Let's take a look. Here's the end of the play where Eric McCollum's going to get the easy 2, but Willie spun and really didn't go strong. He thought he got fouled. And he's going to now take a break and head out of the arena at the moment.
2 technical free throws for Eric McCollum.
Can't lose your cool in this kind of environment.
You've got a lot of money on the line, not only
That's
for
right.
yourself, but your teammates.
That's right. Let's take a look. Watch the spin right here. And, yeah, he got fouled. It looked like he did get fouled. And you know what? The crazy thing about that play, that would have been Kyle Fogg's 5th foul.
Yes.
And they're allowed 6 by TBT rules.
Randall. Oversees the lead. Pushing. Getting that transition game going like they did at the beginning of the game. Fogg leaving it short. That transition bucket a moment ago before the technical. First since the opening minutes. Kennedy. Burrell. Kick out. McCollum. For 3.
Great effort on the offensive glass by Overseas Elite. And the ball movement exquisite so far.
Fogg gets it up on the glass. Another offensive rebound.
Justin Burrell is a monster in there right now.
And an offensive rebound on Burrell. As he was moving Taylor Braun all over the paint. And Clarence Armstrong patrolling the beat.
Absolutely. And these officials will not be intimidated. Watch Burrell step right in. And it looked like he pushed off with that inside arm.
Donald Sloan for 3. 13 points for Donald Sloan. A 4-point spread, 46-42.
DeAndre Kane has Randall inside. They're looking to get it into him. But Randall is a tough guy from the Windy City.
Kane on the back down. Out of the double team. This one ricochets out of bounds. And it's going to belong to Eberlein Drive.
Jeff Clark was the official opposite. He had a good look at that. You see Mark Hughes, the very dapper. I think he might be the first guy in TBT history to wear a shirt and tie.
McAdoo. Off the glass. Beauty. James Michael with 8. And Eberlein Drive is within 4. McAdoo has missed only 1 shot in 5 tries. 4.5 to go, 3rd quarter. $2 million hanging in the balance to the winner. Kennedy. On McAdoo.
How about DJ Kennedy? He's in the prime of his career right now.
And that will be a travel against Donald Sloan. Fargo, Jefferson come in for Overseas Elite.
I mentioned it earlier, Bob. DJ Kennedy had a small cup of coffee with the Cleveland Cavaliers. At this stage of his career, he could play on an NBA team, but financially, he is a smart businessman, makes great money overseas, and Willie Reed has rejoined that Eberlein Drive bench. After picking up that technical, he may need to just cool off a little bit.
Donald Sloan, you can hear him saying to Clarence Armstrong, that was 2 steps, i.e., I didn't travel. 48-44. Kennedy. Tipped out. And that brings us to a timeout.
Remember, Eberlein Drive, they came in as a 7 seed. We know they're better than that, and they're proving it. But do they have enough to knock off the 3-time champ? Find out. Stick around.
To an open side pick and roll with Jefferson. Jefferson's guarding you back. You're going to come up. You're going to flip it either inside or outside. At the last second, you're coming down with a full head of steam. J.E., depending on where he goes, you're going to flash high, or if he's here, you're going to roll. You're going to stay in the dunker right there. Okay? You're reading off J-Mac. Got it? Other side, spread out. Let's spread out. Be ready to shoot. You can interchange. You can backdoor cut. Hey, what do we have? Literally like 9 minutes until that finish. Hey, their ball. Hey, where's the ball? Go! Right here. Dig deep, baby. Come on. Favorites, 1, 2, 3, favorites.
Pumas in the huddle, featuring head coach David Nurse of Eberlein Drive.
Very good, simple instructions, and then a little bit of emotion at the end right there. Get his guys fired up. They're locked in terms of intensity, and they are in a battle.
Overseas Elite has committed 4 team fouls, so penalty time for Overseas Elite. They have the basketball here with this 4-point lead, bidding for a 4th consecutive title. Kyle Fogg lays it up. Jefferson lays it in.
Oh, that was so good. Kyle Fogg. That's why, boys and girls, you come off a ball screen, slow down and read the defense. He waited for Jefferson to get behind the defender.
Randall's miss. Jefferson outlets a rainbow to Kane. Pulls a 3-ball. Tap back to him.
Oh, I get it to Kennedy.
And they do. Drives on McAdoo. Kennedy sizing up James Michael one more time. And a goaltender.
Remember last night when he sized up Jameer Wilson and stepped back 3? That's like a pitcher in baseball. He had the fastball, then he comes with the curve because James Michael wasn't sure. Take a look. He puts his head down, gets right to the rim, and an easy call.
Overseas Elite takes the lead to 8. Nice reverse by Osiris Eldridge. The Elam ending will take over when we get to the 4th quarter. First dead ball under 4 minutes. Eldridge, terrific defender. Somebody's open. And that man is Pargo. He'll drive it on Sloan. Flips it up and off. Jeremy Evans clears. Sloan push ahead. Randall driving and scoring.
How fast was that?
That's 4 quick points for Eberlein Drive. Daylight for Pargo. That opening closed quickly thanks to Eldridge.
Plenty of time. 30-second shot clock like college.
And a push stops the clock with 1:49 to play. Tomorrow, we'll once again have for you the Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony for you right here on ESPN. Randy Moss, Ray Lewis, Jerry Kramer, among all the legends going in. 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, also on the ESPN app. Jerry Kramer is going to be the 25th Green Bay Packer to go into the Hall of Fame. The only team that has more, the Chicago Bears.
Wow.
With 28.
And Brian Urlacher, former New Mexico Lobo, is that 28.
Kennedy. Tip. Sloan gets it to McAdoo. Randall running. Nice comeback here by Eberlein Drive. McAdoo hustles to back tap it. Sloan is open. Rhythm bounce for 3. And again tapped into the backcourt. And just enough runway for Jerome Randall.
Yep, and I think James Michael, he's done a great job last 2 possessions keeping that ball alive.
Randy's so quick off his feet.
Yes, he is.
Randall.
See the push.
3 in transition by Paris Horn. Another chance. Kennedy tries a 3. And we're down to the final 52 seconds of the 3rd.
Bob, good chance for 2 for 1 right here. Got to get that shot up by 40.
Donald Sloan gives to McAdoo, and it is going to be a basket and a free throw to come.
That's professional basketball right there. Nobody had to say 2 for 1. They just do it instinctively. There's the pick and roll. Kennedy is late. And if things play out right for Eberlein Drive, they'll get the final possession of the half. of the quarter, excuse me.
Third foul on Kennedy. And after trailing by 8, Eberlein Drive scores 6 unanswered and a chance for a 7th with McAdoo at the stripe. Kennedy sits with his third foul and a blow as we come to the end of the quarter as we check in with Jen Hale.
Bob, we've been talking about the story of Eberlein Drive and the families that live on that street, the name that gave this team their cause. Well, one of the original members, Oster Sr., he's a friend of Jacob Hirschman and the Oster brothers to Jacob's right now. Their father is home on Eberlein Drive at this moment. He's hosting a watch party for the entire block to come and cheer on Eberlein Drive in this game. So shout out to them, and it's awesome to see the way they've rallied behind this team.
Big offensive rebound here for Eberlein. They've got a chance to tie with the 2, lead with the 3. Donald Sloan taking his time.
Probably see a pick and roll. Here comes McAdoo.
Sloan rocks it, shoots it, missed it. McAdoo got a hand on it. 14 seconds, plenty of time for Overseas Elite.
Overseas Elite's got a foul to give if they want to use it.
McCollum. Tip to Sloan, and that will be the period. Wow, what a ball game. 52-50 Overseas Elite.
Here we go. 9 minutes away. The winner gets $2 million. The loser, they get a handshake.
Hey, you got it? Go to work. This is where we're getting it. On the defensive end. This play, right? Yes. This is any side out of bounds. This is the first play. All right? Stack. All right? Other than that, defensively.
Look here. I don't care what happens as long as we get every last ounce of what we have. And you walk off this floor with no regrets. No regrets. Get back in the transition. Let's squeeze it. Come on, baby. Come on. Bam. 1, 2, 3, bam.
Hey, it's pure emotion right now. These guys know how to play. They know how to play together. Yeah, the coaches are giving them some pointers, but right now we're talking about energy, emotion, and execution the next 9 minutes.
Is there a crack in that Overseas Elite foundation? They've gone scoreless over the last 3 minutes and 37 seconds. They've maintained the lead almost all night. Eberlein has led for a grand total of 1 minute 36. But Grant Frischella, we enter this final period just a 2-point game.
You know the fun part may be at the under 4-minute mark when we go to the Elam ending and play to a target score.
Eberlein Drive basketball is start.
That target score will be set after the first dead ball under the 4-minute mark. So 5 minutes of head-to-head play here. Blocked by Jefferson. Kennedy throws it to him on a leak out. Gives to Fogg. Steps into a 3. Bullseye!
Great play by Jefferson. He's about to steal a basket.
And how about that? There's 5 quick ones. C.J. McCollum. His brother Eric coming up with that one and laying it home. And wow, 57-50. 5 points in 6 seconds.
Another great start to a quarter by the champs.
From the corner. 3-ball miss, tapped out. And Randall's got it for Eberlein Drive. 8:10 to play. $2 million on the line and a block and takeaway by Kennedy. On the push, Fogg has it. Drives in, lays it in. Timeout, Eberlein Drive. From a 2-point game, and you think for an instant that Overseas Elite's in trouble, back they come with a big punch.
You know what they say in Baltimore? Omar Little said it best. Come at the king, don't miss. Kyle Fogg hit a 3, and then when they pressured him on the line, he had that pro mentality of changing up and driving to the basket. They love this in Tucson, Arizona, where he starred for the Wildcats, and he is a much better player, year by year, than the guy that left Tucson.
Now the pressure clearly on Eberlein Drive. They're down 9. Elam ending is less than 4 minutes away. Braun, tough shot. Momentum carried him out of that shot, but good hustle to get it back. Randall puts it over to Sloan. Donald, tricky dribbles in. Blocked. Taken down by Overseas Elite.
What a challenge by Jefferson. He's a 3-time champion.
Overseas Elite has already banked $5 million over the last 3 years. Can they add 2 more to it? Hard bounce, and Jefferson finishes.
This is pro basketball. That young man averaged 2 points and 2 rebounds at South Carolina about 7 years ago. He got better every year.
9 straight points to start the quarter by Overseas Elite. McAdoo. And Jefferson the foul. Boy, DeAndre Jefferson has been a beast.
He knows his role. There's the block, and then the hustle at the other end. And this is a young man that had very limited playing time in college. He started out in obscure places. He's been in places like Slovakia, Lebanon, Turkey, and Italy, and he got better every year.
McAdoo with the second free throw coming. Jefferson played only 6 minutes in last season's championship game for Overseas Elite. And he's one of the key contributors in the fourth quarter tonight. 61-51. 10-point lead. Elam ending in 2.5 minutes.
You don't want to get stagnant if you're Overseas Elite. You need some ball movement.
Cutting Kennedy. The fake and lay-in by Justin Burrell.
Great ball movement right there. That's what we're talking about. Don't get stagnant. No Velcro on that ball.
Fogg with the push. And that will be his 5th at 6:05. Coming up next on SportsCenter, Linda Cohn, Kenny Mayne. Break it down. Johnny Manziel's CFL debut in Montreal. Plus, they'll analyze Tigers' second round at Firestone. Astros-Dodgers in progress highlights in their first meeting since Game 7 of the World Series. Coming up next on SportsCenter.
I would get Kyle Fogg out as quickly as possible right now.
Lob to McAdoo, and he's able to put it on the rim and go in for him. And McAdoo has 13. 10-point gap as we approach the Elam ending.
James Michael's been very efficient with his shots this week.
Kennedy a jab step and go. McCollum. Oh, just out for Eric. McAdoo's at 6 of 7 for him. Sloan. Braun back to Donald. 1:15 away from the Elam ending. Like to get this down in single digits. But McAdoo stripped. And Kennedy with a key defensive play.
He is so underrated on that end of the floor.
Jeremy Pargo. Overseas Elite by 10 as Pargo spins in and has it stolen by Donald Sloan. And a block and a foul. Eric McCollum with his first. What a spurt by Overseas Elite.
This is why they're the champs. They know how to close out games. Can they do it one more time? The 3x5, the drive by 5. And then DeAndre Jefferson finishing at the rim. Ball movement, Justin Burrell. Everybody's involved right now for Overseas Elite.
Key miss there by Donald Sloan at the line. DeAndre Kane coming in, and Fogg protect him for the Elam ending. He's got 5 fouls.
You got Paris Horn in the game as well, Bob, who I've mentioned is the glue. 4 years ago in the opening game in Atlanta, they were about to lose a game, and Paris Horn made a LeBron-like block with 30 seconds to go that saved or at least began this incredible run.
63-54 overseas elite. Elam ending first dead ball under 4 minutes. Eric McCollum. Guarded by Evans. McCollum pushed off. Offensive foul. 63-54 overseas elite with 4:24 to play.
Eric McCollum, he really didn't argue that very much. He knew he got away with one, but in fact he didn't get away with it.
Sloan, a big 3. Evans couldn't get it in. Neither could McAdoo. This one squirts out. Bodies everywhere. No whistle. Down 1. And a hell ball arrow to overseas elite.
I call timeout.
What would you expect?
I call timeout 6
This
times.
is a $2 million scrap.
Oh, I love this. Take a look. Lot on the line. It's a game 7. It's for $2 million. Good effort both ways.
A lot of hands in the cookie jar. 5 seconds away from the Elam ending.
Get downhill.
As they get the floor cleaned up, we'll remind you about the Yankees and Red Sox. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell. Final game of that 4-game series. How about Steve Pearce last night? 3 home runs for Boston. He came up and walked his final time. You know, more rare than a no-hitter. A player who hits 4 home runs in a game has only been done in the big leagues 15 times.
Wow.
There have been over 260 no-hitters.
You are a font of information.
63-54 overseas elite. 4:05 remaining. Now, big possession for overseas elite.
Well, here's what's going to happen. I believe as soon as it gets under 4, Mark Hughes is going to take a timeout so they can set the score. And the target score should be 70. Let's see.
At the 4, timeout, timeout.
Just waiting for the clock. And it ticks under at 3:58. Timeout is here. Elam ending is in effect. Overseas elite with 63 points will put the target score on the big board when we come back. Has been posted. 70. First team to that total gets the win and the $2 million.
Exactly, and here's why it works. Remember, TBT is a trendsetter with the live bracket. Elam ending, the clock shuts off. You set the target score now. 7 points gets added to 63. And what I like about this now is, yeah, it's a little different, but remember, Eberlein Drive does not have to foul to get back into this game. They have to get stopped. Here's the problem for Eberlein Drive. They have 4 fouls to give. And every time they foul, the clock gets reset to 30.
Does that allow them to gamble a shade more, come up with some steals?
I think it does, but it also makes them have to get stops like this right here.
Shot clock continues. And the 3 off the rim, but rebound for overseas elite secured, and the foul is on McAdoo.
So there's the foul. And the clock gets reset to 30, so they've got to stay on defense again. It's not about fouls now, it's about stops, and in this case, defensive rebounds.
And that is 16 offensive rebounds for overseas elite. Kennedy. Down goes McAdoo. Kennedy shovels, and a foul. Non-shooting, I believe. Taylor Braun Commits his second.
Yeah, very smart foul. They have him to give, and he saved the layup. Clock gets reset, but they still need stops.
And if you look at it from Eberlein's perspective, they've got to find a way to outscore Overseas Elite 16-6.
Yeah.
They get the $2 million.
You know, in the Y, when we all grew up, you got to play to 21. And it's a target score. There's a steal.
Braun. McAdoo. Evans. In and out. Halfway in the pipe. Game clock is off. First team to 70 wins. The championship, the big payday. Dancing out front. Horn. Knocked out by Eberlein Drive. Fresh clock for Overseas Elite.
Remember, they can go to the monitor like college rules.
But now Mike Eads is going to stop play here. We should point out that Eberlein Drive in this fourth quarter, Fran, they are 1 of 9 from the field.
It has to be 3 points or less.
That's for video review. Burrell, 5 points away.
Great pick and roll action right there by Pargo. Pargo's been key tonight because of his point guard ability. The ball moves with him in the game.
Pargo fouls, and that is the 15th foul on Overseas Elite.
Take a look now. Watch excellent screen by Burrell. Great roll. Textbook right there. Braun comes over to play good defense, but you see the step through by the veteran. Now the foul on the other end, fortuitous for Eberlein Drive because they have a chance.
And that's the second free throw that Sloan has missed in the fourth quarter.
If he makes this, it's basically a trade-off. 2 for 1. Advantage Overseas Elite.
Missed both. Makes the task even tougher for Eberlein Drive. Fogg for 3. Does not the emphasis for Eberlein Drive have to be on shooting threes? With this much of a gap to make up?
I think the way I would play this, Bob, is just what they just did. Attack, get yourself to the line off of a dump-off, great, but you also got to be looking to find the shooters. No doubt about it. They've had 2 empty possessions right now. The missed 3 by Evans and the 2 missed free throws by Sloan.
Eberlein, 4 of 16 from three-point land. Jeremy Evans. 55 points. They have to get to 70. Still quite an uphill climb for Eberlein Drive. 2 free throws for Jeremy Evans. Pressure mounting on Eberlein defensively. Overseas Elite 5 points away from the target score.
We've seen teams with the lead kind of put it on cruise control throughout the TBT.
2 team fouls on Eberlein Drive. Fogg gets inside. Lost it. Got it back. Up and in. 3 points away. They can win it next time down.
Hey, they have scrapped. If you think they haven't earned this lead, you're mistaken. These guys scrap.
Randall scores. Timeout, Eberlein. Let's go in the huddle with Puma.
All we need is a few stops. We just got to keep getting a few stops in a row, and we have
Mark Hughes in the Overseas Elite Huddle.
JB, set the second one. Don't get down. Yo, start off with it. You coming off, all right? God, come on. It's bang, bang. You got it? Come on. Bang, bang, God. Finish this thing, all right?
Mark Hughes knows about championship pressure. Last 2 seasons on Jerry Stackhouse staff as Raptors 905 went to 2 consecutive G League Championship Series, winning 1 and losing last spring to the Austin Spurs.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, and the other thing that we haven't talked about, these teams who are getting a chance to beat Overseas Elite, they don't want to count their money. Like, it's so hard overnight. You're thinking about the share of the winnings instead of just playing a game. And don't think there's not a mental aspect to closing a game like this out. It's something Overseas Elite has done, Bob, 3 straight times.
A 3-pointer ends it. And a 4th consecutive title for Overseas Elite. Pargo brings it over. Screen from Burrell. Pargo for the win. Randall for 3. And again, ahead of the pack, Overseas Elite. Burrell, 1 point away. Burrell with the jam. Now Eberlein is really up against it. They cannot give up another point. Sloan. Who will have the privilege of clinching it? Is it here? No. Rebound Eberlein.
Got to stay on the attack. 2s or 3s.
Turnover. Leak out. It's going to be Burrell. Fouled on the dunk by Randall. And it will be a push, a flagrant. They only need a point. And Overseas Elite are lining up the bank transfers.
Easy call right here. You see Randall, and one thing he did, it's an intentional foul, obviously, but he went right over to Justin Burrell. And Justin Burrell now, you see the foul. It's a hard foul. $2 million on the line. He made sure that he told Justin Burrell, hey, just part of the job. Now he's got to go to the line with nobody there. Can he do it?
For $2 million. 4 in a row. Overseas Elite improves to 25-0 in TBT history. So close for Eberlein Drive, but the 4th quarter Frankfurt-Schiller belonged to Overseas Elite.
They know how to win, Bob. You know, the first year it was close. The second year they were tested. Last year they were tested. But these guys have the heart of champions. And they're not just great basketball players, but they have a cohesiveness and a togetherness, which is amazing since they don't get a chance to practice. They play around the world during the year, but they come together in August every season.
To Jen Hale.
Bob, a huge congratulations to Eric McCollum and this Overseas Elite team. Very few teams can say they have won 4 consecutive championships. What is that ride like?
Man, it's exhausting. Mentally, physically, every day you got to bring it. And everybody's always talking about you. They're trying to knock you off. But we know there's a reason we won 3 in a row and not 4. I think we got a great team, great group of guys, and we earned this.
Justin Burrell, he's not buying drinks tonight, is he?
No, Justin Burrell, he's a great guy. He helped change the team, the dynamics. We have been trying to get him over here for a couple years now, and he finally came. And we got him 2 championships, and he was a big part of everything, and he helped solidify the middle position for us.
Thanks, Eric. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
We'll be back with the trophy presentation as the coverage of TBT wraps up from Baltimore. TBT Tradition Overseas Elite. For the 4th consecutive year, hammers it into the wall as champions.
They've had good practice at that. The incredible performance. You see the huddle right there. They stuck together. They're great players around the world in the various countries they play, Bob. And what's more impressive about them as the talent level grows at the TBT is the way they take on every single challenge.
And have conquered every challenger. Let's check in with Jen.
Bob, the moment everyone has been waiting for. The founder and CEO of the basketball tournament, John Mugar, not only has the hardware over to our left, but also the big check. John?
Thanks, Jen. On behalf of the basketball tournament, we want to thank the 72 teams that participated this year and all the general managers. Especially want to thank Eberlein Drive and Jake and Matt for putting together a great team. And Overseas Elite, the 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018 champions, 25-0, winners of $7 million. Congratulations. Here's your check.
$2 million. Once again, these guys have truly written their names in the history books. No doubt about it. $2 million. That has to feel really good. Let's grab the MVP of this basketball tournament now, DJ Kennedy. Congratulations. There are very few teams in this world who can say they have won 4 consecutive champions.
It's unbelievable. I feel like we made history. A lot of people counted us out. It's hard to do something 3 times to make it 4 times. Unbelievable, man. It's probably one of the most remarkable moments in all of us. Like all of us, 4 times. We're done after this. It's over for us. It's over. It's getting hard. It's getting hard. Competition getting better every year, every game.
Tell them what I told you.
What you saying?
It's over with. In other words, Overseas Elite is retiring after this year?
Unless they, yes, I think it's over. I know it's over for us. Overseas Elite, it's over. We need $5 million. We need $5 million. Let somebody else go take some money.
Well, it's got to feel pretty good to go out as MVP then.
Oh, man, it's great. Unbelievable, man. To do this 4 years in a row, I can't even explain it. Love these guys. To do something like this with no chemistry and just come in every summer and continue to keep winning, it's remarkable.
DJ, it's been fun to watch. Congratulations to you and Overseas Elite. Bob, let's send it back to you.
Celtics, UCLA men, UConn women, Canadians, Islanders, Yankees, and the name Overseas Elite. 4 straight TBT titles. For Fran Fraschilla, Jen Hale, our entire crew, Bob Rathman, this has been the basketball tournament. Overseas Elite, your 2018 champs. So long from Baltimore. Let's send it to SportsCenter.